afternoon, everyone. Okay, so yes, so apologies for the very strange Finjan because when we uploaded the file, the Arabic got scrambled and reversed. So yes, it looks a bit different. Yeah. So this is actually a little museum in my hometown. You can't see this one, unfortunately, but this is the front door. And it's actually a Chinese house with a very hybrid history. So this is actually the front. So there are items here that come from Southeast Asia, in Malaysia, from China, from the Middle East, from India, and from Britain. I don't know if you can see the tiles are Portuguese. And, yeah. So we're going to talk about loanwords, and especially in communities where there's a lot of trade. There's been a lot of interaction with different cultures, and you always get words coming in from everywhere else. So let's have a look. Right, so my grandmother was born in the 1920s. Can you imagine what a Chinese woman would be dressed like if she, from born in say 1940s, 1950s? What would she be wearing? That's the thing. You would think. No, she dressed like this. This is not her, but it is very similar. Dressed like this. She didn't have bound feet. She wore a sarong, a batik sarong, and she wore a kabaya, which originally came from the Middle East and was the abaya. And she wore a Victorian, in the Edwardian times when women wore this high-necked white blouse sort of thing, with a high neck, that's, if you watch Anne of Green Gables, this was the influence that came in. So, and her hairstyle is from Myanmar. All right, so the house is in a hybrid Chinese-English style, and the tiles are Portuguese, and these are Chinese, yeah. So it's a culture that is very mixed. And so today we're going to talk about loanwords. As you borrow elements from different cultures, you borrow not only material things, but words as well. So for example, in every house, we had these little stools. And do you know what we call them in our dialect? It's a dialect that comes from the southeast of China. That was brought by merchants, our ancestors who settled in Indonesia, Malaysia. We call this bangku, which comes from Malay bangku and from Portuguese bangku. I'm serious. And Malay people, Indonesian people still say bangku. It's spelled like this. B-A-N-G-K-U. We say bangku with a rising tone to fit the phonetics of the Chinese dialect. This was, if you can see, it's a banquet hall that we used to have dinners, Chinese New Year, weddings. This long table is called the tok panjang. The word tok comes from our dialect from this word. Chok sang, the table. And panjang is Malay for long, the long table. So it's where material things and words get switched around. So this phenomenon happens everywhere, not only in Chinese, but so we'll talk about tea. Hands up, anyone. How many of you speak a language where the word for tea starts with a T, like tea, te? With the CH, cha, chai. Keep raising your hands, chai. Right. Exactly. Yeah, tea, exactly. And so, how many of you don't have a word that starts with T or a cha or something? What do you speak? And arbata, garbata, that kind of variation. So it's tea. It's a tea. Yeah. So it's tea. It's chai. It's arbata. So it's three variations, something like that, right? All of you. Anything else? What do you say? Yes, sha. Yes. And sha, yeah, but okay, good, sha. So sha, cha, okay. It all comes from, exactly. Perfect. So everybody, basically every language in the world uses a word that starts with cha, chai, sha, something, tea, and arbata, something like that. Every language in the world, almost everything. So let's talk about loanwords first. So how did this happen? You see, so this is why. So the thing is, loanwords are words that are borrowed basically from one language to another. Okay, there may be modifications into how the word is borrowed. That's why you have all the variations, because the different languages have different phonetics and all that. And the most important thing is languages and dialects normally do not exist in a vacuum. We are not on an island unless you live in the middle of Papua New Guinea and you're surrounded by mountains and that. Okay, fine. But generally, all languages have words that are borrowed. So Zulu has the word ikofi from coffee, from English or from Afrikaans. I can't tell whether it's or English or from the Dutch or Afrikaans, but it comes from Europe, this word. So we know that the Zulu people got their coffee from Europeans, for example. Swahili word for book is kitabu, from kitab in Arabic. So Again, that's, or Persian, I can't tell, but again, we know that they traded on the coast of Africa with people from the Middle East, right? And the word for, do you know this language? The Ne Son Chine. It's called Chippewayan, it's one of the native languages of Canada. And it's spoken in like to the west of Hudson Bay, like basically. The word for tea is liti or liti, and it comes from lute, because when the Canadian fur traders went there, they asked them, what is, ça c'est lute? Lute, they thought that's a full word, so it became liti. And many Canadian languages have something like liti, something like that in their vocabulary from the French. Yeah, so it's boring. So again, you see the words are borrowed, but they don't say the same. They always match the vocabulary and the grammar and the pronunciation of whatever language has borrowed it. And so, before we talk about tea, let's talk about loan words, how they are spread. So trade and commerce, like the word for tea, okay, it's very, very common. Food commodities are often spread around the world by trade, by borrowing stuff from the people that you trade with. So the word for table in Malay is meja. Does it sound familiar? Swahili, they say meza. Mez in Hindi, mese in Tamil. What else? Masa in Romanian, I think, is it? Is that correct? Mesa. Exactly, so it's from Spanish, mesa. In Philippines, they say la mesa, but it's from Spanish. It comes from actually from a long history. So the Malay people got their tables, the idea of a table from the Portuguese, who came from Europe, whose language evolved from Latin. So the word for table was originally mensa from Latin. And the Turks got theirs from the Romanians, I think, the concept of table. And so it's from Romanian. That's why it's masa in Turkish, masa. So ideas and also objects and get passed around. So we see here, when ideas are passed around in specialized domains, in English you have a lot of words that come from other languages, and they're often very, very specific. Like French words are used in ballet. English students, speakers, when they go to ballet class, they learn French words, plié, coup de pied, demi-pointe, glissade, all that are from French. Opera singers, when they learn, they use Italian terms, often, opera, aria, alto, contralto, soprano, adagio. All these are from Italian. In Malaysia, the vocabulary is often borrowed in one set. So it comes from either from Arabic or from Sanskrit, from an older period. Because before Islam was the main religion in the island Southeast Asia, it was Hinduism in the west. So in Java, Sumatra, the Malay Peninsula, there were a lot of people who were Hindu. Like in Bali, they still kept that religion. So they have words that come from doa solat, solah from kitab, masjid, or Sanskrit. Shurga is from, never mind. Svarga, naraka from narak. Okay, so I'm sorry, Hindi does not look like this. Agama from agama. The word to fast, now is the month of Ramadan. We don't, in Malaysia, they say to fast puasa, which comes from upavasa, but anyway. Yeah, so upavasa, okay, so. And Persian words come from, Persian literary words are found in Urdu, for example, and Turkish. So it's not really the words itself, it's the concept that gets borrowed in very, very commonly. This is one section. The other one, of course, you have the conquest and the colonial administration. You find a lot of Turkish words in Macedonian, in Bulgarian. How many Macedonian, Bulgarian, Balkan language speakers do we have here? Anybody? How do you say tea? There we go, from Turkish. And a few others. Do you say top? Sorry, top for a gun, weapon, something like that? Top. Okay, that's from Turkish as well. It's a word for ball, I think. Yeah. So, things like that get borrowed in different languages. English has a lot of Norman French, so that came with the Normans. And Dutch, there are a lot of Dutch words in Indonesian, a lot of Spanish in the Philippines. This is like when you are ruled by a foreign power, oftentimes you take the good and the bad. People get discriminated, they get mistreated, but they often borrow ideas and words. So it's normal. This happens everywhere in different parts of the world. And then the last one, a prestige language. I mean, the French never really ruled the Germans, but there are a lot of French words in German and in Russian, and, because French up to the 18th, 19th century was an international language in Europe, so you'll find this everywhere. In most parts of Europe, there are Chinese words in Japanese, even though Japan was never ruled by China, for example. Sanskrit and Pali words in Thai. Again, it's due to influence of language. This could be linked with this one, again, in specialized domains. Maybe the kings thought it was a good literary language to have, so literature was written in one language or the other, and that influenced the speech of the common people. So it's ideas, concepts, objects, and then it grew to ideas and then concepts, something like that. from basically material to abstract. Very common around the world. And so, the tea. So how did this word invade almost every language on earth? Uh-huh. So I think you've probably seen this one, something like this, right? So too small, all right. So basically, the word for tea comes from 3 Chinese dialects, either from Mandarin, which is cha, which during the Silk Road era went from westwards into the Persian-speaking areas. In those days, it was much larger than it is now across Central, and then from there into the Turkic languages. So this word is cha, and it became chai or choi or something like that in Persian, and that went into Turkish and Uzbek and all the Turkic languages, who then brought it into Europe, into Russia, for example. Many parts of Eastern Europe, they say chai or something, chai, something like that. And then into the Arab country, it became shai, sh, because in Arabic there is no ch sound except, I think, Iraqi dialect or something, but nobody has, very few people pronounce it with a ch, so it's sh. And then on the other side, by sea, this is more recently, the English people the Dutch people were the first to trade with the southeast of China. And the region where my family came from, we pronounce the word cha as te, with the t sound. And that became the Dutch word, and then from Dutch it went into German, French, English, tea, te. All that came from my part of here. It's opposite the Straits of Taiwan. If you go from Taipei and you land on the first boat in the first city, that's where my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather came from. Yeah, it's called Fujian. Yeah, and the big cities, Xiamen, Quanzhou, Zhangzhou, those areas, they pronounce this word as te, or te, very similar to what you have. So that's why all the te word went into, from the Dutch, it went all over Western Europe, except Spain. Why? Care to guess? Sorry, not Spain, Portugal. Do you say te or cha? I got the girls mixed up, so sha. Okay, so you have the cha word. How did that go from, yeah, so but in Spain you say te, right? So what happened? Macau, exactly. The Portuguese traded where the colony in Macau, which is Cantonese speaking. And in Cantonese, tea is pronounced, any Cantonese speakers? Cha, I think, is it cha? Like cha with the, well, not the ch, but the cha. So yeah, so the cha went from Cantonese into Portuguese, sorry, not Spain, Portugal. Yeah, any other countries? And the other word that sounds like was I think when tea was introduced into Central Europe and a little bit, Latin was still spoken quite commonly, so they called it herba tea, the tea herb. So that became your, arbata, all that comes from there. So again, suited to your, yeah, so tea, yeah, so this is, yeah, there we go, herba. So this is how the words get changed. So almost every language has tea, arbata, or something like that. Arbata, te. Malay Indonesian says te, because that's the trade with China. Thai people say cha or something like that, because they had contact with people from, I think because the people in Thailand used to live further north in the southwest of China, so that they had contacts with people who spoke old forms of Mandarin from the southwest, so cha. What else? Cambodians, what do you say? What's Khmer for tea? Te? Te, okay, tea, the te word, okay. That's again from the southeast of China, maybe from Santou or Chaozhou, another part of China, but from the southeast. Yeah, te here. So, okay, so that's how words get spread. This is by trade, cha. And interesting enough, a lot of Indian languages use cha or sa, mostly in the northeast of India, close to Burma, and then up to China. So, yeah, so that's Japanese say cha or cha, something, Korean, yeah. A lot of words. Tagalog people say, Filipinos tend to say cha, I think it's cha, right? You don't say te. I think so. Probably from Spanish, or it could be from Cantonese. Yeah, but yeah. There we go. And yeah, chai. So all this is words are spread like this. So we know who traded with whom. We know that the Chinese traded with the Dutch, who traded with it. So yeah. So you can see the track, and then on the other side, a long time ago, from the Silk Road, from Persia into the Turkic languages. The only exception, I think, is Moroccan Arabic, who speaks, or Algerian Arabic, who speaks Maghribi. Do you say shay? Do you say something like ate? So you say ate, but is that all tea or a specific type of tea, or?
I only know the one.
Ate. Yeah, I heard this word ate. So you guys use the tea word. You guys use the te word. Ate. This is interesting. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but yeah. So, ate, interesting. So if you can see this, so this is a list of all the different Chinese dialects and how they pronounce cha. So you can see the cha, and then, can you see it, or is it's not too clear? Okay, a little bit, yeah. So as you go down to the south, the Cantonese, this is Wu. Shanghainese people say like zo, I can't see the tone, zo. Since we don't drink zo, we know that we didn't buy tea from Shanghai, obviously. Right, so yeah, it's true, historically no, people didn't buy tea from Shanghai, you know, so that's why zo, and I think you say zo, something, the east of China, that didn't get passed along to the rest. And Cantonese people will say cha, yam cha, you know, that's so to drink tea. And if you go to Xiamen, it's te, or some words you say ta, te, you know, so that's where the tea came from, all right? So the only exception to this is, of course, always the countries where tea actually originated from. Southwest China and Myanmar have their own words for tea, and this again did not, this didn't come out. It's lapet in Burmese. And a lot of the languages in the southwest of China and northern Myanmar, they use something like la, so those are words that are native. This is Burmese tea salad. It's made with the fermented tea leaves. And so it shows that tea is not only drunk, it's also eaten, because you know they've had it so long, they know how to do more than us about how to use tea in that region. So it's called lepeto or something like that. Yeah. Okay. The Burmese is interesting. There's the word for flag in Burmese is alain, and it comes from alam in Arabic. Alain is the word for flag, because apparently the first people who actually had flags were the Arab traders on the boat. They go, oh, what are those? Alam, alain. In Burmese, you don't expect to see this. I think the word for, do you have a word in Dutch that sounds like for gun or weapon, that snapang, something like that? For handgun or gun? Because in Malay we say senapang, and in Burmese it's, I can't remember, yeah, there's a word for it. Panet or something, anyway. So, borrowing again. So again you see the same trend with coffee. Coffee again. Who speaks a language where the word coffee doesn't have a K or what is that? Sorry. Sorry. No worries. Where you don't have a K in coffee, cafe, kopi? No, yeah. That's because all the words for coffee come from Arabic. Qahwa. Oh shit. Sorry. Can I swear? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I have to. Yeah. So technical problems. Yeah. They want to transfer it. So yeah, it doesn't look like that. Please, no. It's reversed. So it's yeah. The qaf comes at the back and blah blah blah. Yeah, and yeah. So okay. So qahwa, if you can read it, but yeah, I should have made it bigger a bit. So the coffee actually comes from Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa region, but it was the Arabs who actually developed it mostly in Yemen, and that's when the word qahwa, coffee, came from. So there are several theories. Some say qahwa was the name of a type of drink, like a wine or fermented drink, or it comes from the word Kaffa, which is a district in. You can still find Kaffa in Ethiopia. It's a region. So I'm okay with either places, either etymologies, but it comes from Arabic. And the Ottomans were the ones who brought the Turks to develop, say, oh, this is nice, nice drink. And it became popular throughout the Ottoman Empire, where it became kahve, and then it went cafe, coffee, into Europe. I think via the Italians. I think kahve, yeah. That's when it went around the world. So this is another commodity. There was, again, it's the commodity and the concept. Again, the exceptions in Amharic, again, the word for coffee is buna. That came out nicely, yeah, buna. So, it's a seed, exactly, sorry? In Arabic, and the Arabs borrow it to mean the coffee seeds, or the beans, what do you call it? The berries, beans. Yeah, bun or buna? Do you say buna? I've heard bun before, yeah. So it comes from the Amharic, Ethiopian word for coffee. They call it buna. Anybody speaks Amharic? Sorry? The word bini, which is brown? Yes. Yes, bun. Yeah. It's from that root. Yes, perfect. Exactly, bun. So this is the only exception. Armenian people apparently have a word that sounds like surch or something. Is that true? Armenians. This is the only word I could find that was different for whatever reason. It's very creative, surch. I think, and someone told me it actually comes from the word for slurping the coffee, but I can't verify this until I find an Armenian speaker. All right, okay. Indigenous languages in the Americas are often a bit different. They tend to be very descriptive. So in Ojibwe, coffee is mekede mishkiki wabu, which means black medicine water. And pikate pui is like a Cree for burning water, burnt water. Yeah, so because of the taste. So yeah, if you look at, yeah, and then this is a very interesting word in Malay and Indonesian. If you ask for a pinggan, it always means a plate. It's a pinggan, it's a plate. Yes, it never means it's a plate, or it can be a paper plate. It can be the ones in that we're serving. It's only a plate, but it actually comes from the Persian word finjan, finjun. I think I've heard it in colloquial Persian. Ugh. I'm sorry for the font. Okay, it's not that I don't know how to read Persian. It's just that yeah. Please forgive me for this. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. So don't ignore the Arabic and Persian fonts. Okay. So I think Persian it means like a teacup, like a porcelain teacup. And in Arabic, I think it means coffee cup. I don't know if it's, do you say finjan for a coffee, right? Specifically. Yeah. Finjan. So finjan, finjun. Yeah, and the etymology actually is, yeah. Pinggan was originally Greek. It comes from the word for board or something. In ancient Greek, pinax, I don't know, this is old ancient Greek. It was borrowed into Persian where it was originally pronounced pinggan, and then Persian traders bought a thousand years ago to Southeast Asia by trade. So it went all the way from the Mediterranean, the Middle East, all the way to Southeast Asia. Words travel, yes. Okay. So now, so pinggan began this, and then sometimes it developed very interesting concepts, like in Tamil Nadu. I don't speak Thai, but sorry, this is Tamil. Sorry, the Tamil Nadu. The word pinggan means ceramic, porcelain or ceramic. Yeah. So this was borrowed. And then finjan is from, ignore this. Finjan is, of course, in Turkish. Okay? So, yeah. So how words are borrowed from one language to another.
How to become piring?
I'm sorry?
Piring.
Piring is a native, another word, it's from Indonesian, it's a native word. But piring has a more specific meaning. In Malaysia, it refers to the small teacup, the little what do you call it? Little saucers, yes. Thank you. Saucer, yeah. Piring. All right. So now the word for rice. You could blow this up. This is interesting. How many people speak a language where the word for rice has like riso, riz, something like? Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, pretty much everybody heard it. Rice, ri, arroz, something like that. Arroza, something in Arabic. Yeah, it's because it all comes from the same word, some same etymology. In Europe. In Turkish, they say pirinç for rice. Pirinç and pilaf, yeah. That exactly. It comes from I think pirinç is raw, uncooked rice, is it? Or is it pilaf is when it's cooked? Yeah. It's a dish. Pilaf is cooked, I think, in a dish. Yeah. So pirinç is like rice, the grain. Yeah, exactly. And I think here they have another word in the Kazakhs use something, another etymology. But yeah, pirinç, berenç, Persian. So all this actually comes from the same word, apparently. It comes from like a long time ago, trade. Where was rice first cultivated? Here? India, China, yeah, China. It went from I think the south or central part of China, then it went to India. So China first and then India. And we can actually trace this with the word for rice, interesting enough. Oh goodness, just ignore again. Yeah, so rice, all this comes from ancient Greek. How do you pronounce this in Greek? And did this appear correctly? Yes. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay. But this one was, yeah, the Arabic and the Hindi, the Devanagari got lost. Okay, Oriza, and the word pirinç, berenç, all these words come from ancient Persian, something like this, that sounds like vrinj, vrinji. And so in Sanskrit you have vrihi, again this is all joined up though, yeah. And the Tamil say vari or something. So this actually comes from, again from the same word, and in Malay Indonesian we say beras. Beras for uncooked rice. When it's cooked, it's something else. Bigas is in Tagalog. Okay? And so, Tibetan is it like this in written Tibetan? Tim? The word for rice. B-R-A something, but it's pronounced differently, right?
I'm not sure.
How do you say it? Tre, something like that, is it?
How do you say what?
Tibetan, the word for rice in Tibetan.
In Tibetan?
Tibetan, like Lhasa Tibetan. Okay. I heard it say something like a tre, or something, tre, or something like that. But this was ba, okay, bat is from Nepalese, yeah. So all these actually come from apparently a word that sounds like bras from a language in South China. So etymology, yeah, it comes from very, very old. It was originally, and it evolved into a lot of things. But yeah, I'm not sure whether this word was originally from the Tibetan group, Sino-Tibetan, or from the Mon Khmer group, from languages from the Southeast Asia, related to Vietnamese, Cambodian, a lot of tribal languages in India. But this was passed along like this, so you can sort of trace where the words came from. Fan, or something like a Chinese word, Japanese gohan, something, that's another word for rice, but it's for cooked rice. It refers to cooked rice. This is more for uncooked rice. Interesting things, sometimes with the word for objects and things, there could be shifts in meaning. Like in Tagalog, the word for sticky rice is malakit, which is the word for sticky in Malay. So sticky rice, sticky things. Yeah, you get that change. So this is a little bit of the Austronesian, Austroasiatic languages and where they come from. So this is where rice originates from. So I don't have a bigger map, but you can see that. So basically you have things going one way and you have things going another way. So the Portuguese, people from Arabia, they brought items all the way down the coast. All the way down the coast of Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malay. And it went the other way as well, from China onwards, tea. And coffee came, so the word for coffee in Malay is kopi, from coffee. And yeah, there we go. And then we've got the Sino-Tibetan languages. So I guess rice probably came from somewhere here. And these languages used to be spoken like way up here, and Chinese was like only here in the old days, so the spread of languages. Okay, right. So now, speaking of loanwords, what do you think will be the future of loanwords? Do you think people are going to say, oh no, I'm going to speak my language? Or is it going to get more mixed? Will languages become more mixed? What do you think? What do you think? With social, yes.
It's going to become more mixed, and
Yeah.
eventually it's going to develop itself into a language.
A hybrid language, exactly. Yeah, I think so too. Technological advancement and social media, people will know a lot about new words, new concepts are coming in. There's going to be a talk tomorrow that I'll be doing with Nat Dinham from Utah. We'll talk about English as a force that's pressuring other languages to adopt English words, and also, yeah. So this is related. So technological advancement, things to do with science and technology, often come from English, and also things like fashion and I think stuff that you can communicate visually and by words. Those are going to be mixed. I think English speakers now know what edamame is, right? Do you know? Do you know what edamame is? Well, yeah. 50 years ago, no, but yeah. All right. Do you know what that is? You know what edamame is? It's soybeans in the pots. Yeah. So, yeah. So globalization, the more the world is ideas and changing. Yeah, and I think you have the words for. Let me think. Yeah. So, oops, sorry. Yeah. So, these will be across vast distances. No doubt facilitated by social media, by the internet. It's the world. Languages will become more and more alike. More, concepts will go around from one side to another very easily. So the language of the future will undoubtedly be more open to borrowing words and concepts from foreign languages, whether you like it or not. It will happen. Okay. All right. I'll just keep it short. That's it. All right. How much time do we have? Thank you. Have about 15 minutes. Any questions? Are you using the Slido?
A few questions on Slido.
Perfect. Can we?
Okay.
Yeah.
First question: how international is the word "mama"?
Okay. Good question. All right. Let's start this way. So, mama. Yeah. I think I anticipated the mama word, but yeah, we'll start with mama. Okay. The only language that does not have mama I know is Georgian. Do you say something? How do you say it in the Georgian? Teta, deda, something like that with the d, I think. Yeah, this is interesting. And the word for father is mama, right? Is it like this? It's Georgian. Can you check for? Oh, thanks, Vanessa. I think so. It's the only one that I remember. It's weird.
Well, in Albania is nana,
Nana, yes.
and in Galicia is nine.
Like this.
Yeah, nana in Albania.
This is mother, right? This is mother.
Nana is Albanian.
Okay, this is Albanian for mother. Yeah. Okay. So this is sorry. We'll keep this mother. Okay. It's Albanian.
In Galician is nine that comes clearly from my.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like in Portuguese, but
In Galician, okay, from my, okay, so yeah, so Galician. All right. In Tagalog, they say ina.
In Turkish, it's
And ane, yeah. So that let's see, there's a trend here coming. Okay, so Turkish is anne, or anna, or anna in South, in you can say anna in some of the Central Asian languages. You seeing a trend here? Ana, ina, nanay. Mummy is nanay in Tagalog.
I'm sorry, can I ask something that it's actually in Turkish they got nine?
Nine?
It's grandmother.
It's grandmother, yes, yes. And in Malay, nene means grandmother. In Nana. All right, so you see a trend? Where we're going? Like ma, na, except about Georgian. But na, something going on here? Why? Why is that? There's something going on. Why is it always nasal sound? Ma, na. For babies to pronounce, the first sounds always like ma, na. You know, it's easier than pr, tr, kr. You know, that you don't have words with like pr, split, you know, it's always for mother. Never, right? Any language that has something like complex, because babies can't pronounce it. That's why. That's easy.
Is it connected to I heard that it's connected to the baby?
Yes.
Quando viene adattato,
Sì.
succhia il latte alla madre.
Yeah. Yes, when you
Mamma, in espagnolo mamma.
mama, yes, yeah, when you're nursing a nursing child, yeah, so they got that suction of the lips, so that's when they start making noise. So the sound that comes natural to them is the lips with a maybe n, but yeah, so mama, nana, something like that. There's always a variation, and I think when they learn to make harder sounds like ka, ta, papa, so like mama, papa, probably. Tata. So when you have an n, na, ta, it goes to tata. So that's why, you know, daddy, you know, with a T. I think so. That's something. Although Japanese is unique. Japanese, you say haha, right? For a mother. Haha, yes. Yeah, you call haha. Okasan is somebody, yeah, of course. It's more polite for other person. And father is otosan. Chichi. This is interesting. Yeah.
But the Chinese character for mother,
Yeah.
also we can read omo, very, it's
Like this with I can't. My writing in my Chinese is horrible. But yeah. Oh no, you know. But yeah, the one with the okay. Omo. Okay, interesting.
in a very sensitive word.
Yeah.
It's really omo.
Omo as well. Okay, interesting. Omo. Okay. Again with the m sound. Yeah. So mama, papa, tada. Yeah. I can't think another language that has this. Yeah. Sorry.
But in Finnish, it's not nothing.
Exactly. Yes. So can you tell us in Finnish? IT for mother.
That's a loanword from Baltic language.
It comes from another word. Okay. Interesting. You loaned the word for mother from another.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know why.
So Finnish people, the Finnish word actually comes from Germanic or from Baltic.
From Baltic.
IT. Wow. I didn't know that. Okay. So you borrowed the word from mother from another language. Is it IT? Is it IT? IT. IT for with A with the two. Okay. IT in Finnish. Yes.
I think, I'm sure we have native Finnish speakers over here.
Yeah.
The word father,
Yes.
isa.
Isa. Yes.
There's on the list of the language,
Yeah.
maybe outside Estonia,
Yeah.
where the word father is something that deviates from baba.
Exactly. Right. It's weird. It's funny. I think that's weird. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Tai. Yeah. Tai. Something. Yes, mama. In Indian languages, a lot mama, mamu it means uncle, and mummy means like uncle's, like aunt, isn't it? Aunt. Uncle's wife. Uncle's wife. Yeah. So the uncle's wife, mama and mummy is different meanings. Yeah, it's interesting. Cool. Any questions?
Next question. How did the W sound in kahwa in Arabic become F in coffee?
Okay, so I can tell you that because my Turkish neighbor has a problem pronouncing the word Walter. She keeps saying Volter, Volter. She keeps in Turkish. She keeps doing that v. So I suspect when the word kahwa went into Turkish, they couldn't pronounce the wa. It became v, kahva, kahve, and the kahve v to f is very.
There is no W.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Like, what did she say? She's trying to tell me Westgate. Yeah, we go to Westgate. A friend of mine who speaks Turkish has that v. So W, yeah. So from kahwa into Turkish kahve. I think when the Ottoman Empire was around, the Turkish, they still pronounced the K as a kah, as a kaf. I think they still had it at that time as a separate sound. So kahve, yeah, into kave, cafe in Italian. I suspect that's what happened. It's a theory. I don't know. Really, yeah.
Okay, once again, how do you pronounce the title of the talk?
So from Finjan to pinggan, and from cha to arbata. Yeah, and then that's So it's finjan or pinggan, or in Persian finjan, finjun, yeah, and depending, yeah. Cool.
Then there's one more question.
Mhm.
Do you know about the etymology of the Indonesian word nasi?
Yes, okay. I don't really know. This is interesting. Yeah, so Indonesian, there are several words for rice. When it's not cooked, it's beras. When it's cooked, it is nasi. And there's
means nasi for rice dishes.
rice dishes that are cooked. There's a lot of words. Yeah, let's just keep it simple. A lot of languages have two words for rice, cooked and uncooked rice. I really don't know where nasi comes from, to be honest. Ironically. Any ideas? Nasi. I don't know. This is the one and this is the one that I probably speak the most. So yeah, I don't know. Nasi. Okay.
That's all I have.
Perfect.
in the-
Okay.
Any other question?
Yeah, we have a few more minutes. Yeah. Yes.
Rice word in Japanese it's kome.
Kome.
It includes M.
Correct.
In Chinese it's me, right?
Me. Yes.
It includes M.
Uncooked rice.
Is there other languages which call rice with M?
Yeah, with an M. I'm not in Europe. I don't think in Europe. In Southeast Asia, M. Interesting. Me. Anybody speaks Burmese? No. Looking at Burmese. Thai. No. Cow. Rice. Me is uncooked rice. Yes. Me. Mi fan. Me. Mi fan. Me. Kome. I don't know. This is interesting. I have to.
Sometimes Japanese say rice.
Rice. Oh, this Cool. Yeah, so English language is invading Japan. Yeah. Japanese. Yeah, so words like this. I have no idea. Interesting, but it's good to find out. Kome. Kome is uncooked.
Chinese kind of the read.
Me.
How about Vietnamese?
Any Vietnamese speakers? I know you say. Yeah. Sorry, the word for the Vietnamese word sounds like cơm. I think it's like
But it's
Like-
also used the same way like me, just food in general.
something. Is this the right or the oh god.
The O,
My-
it's not an O, it's
It's My Vietnamese is. It's not the like this.
No, yeah.
Okay. The cơm.
Yes, cook.
What's the raw rice? I can't remember.
I always cook rice.
Yeah. Same here. Cơm.
No, seriously, I never used it.
It's fascinating. Do you think this loan word comes from like old like Austroasiatic? When they went to Japanese, it came from like Southeast Asia, from contact during like we're talking about like 5,000-6,000 years ago, long time. Kome. This word, bai is mai, kamai, bai with a b. That's interesting. Bai. I can't think of it. Yeah, but interesting. Yeah, loan words. Yeah. So we've got another few more minutes. Yeah, about 6-7 minutes. Anybody wants to? Yeah. Loan words you'd like to talk about, like to discuss?
Well, I just like to comment on you were talking about the future and what's happening.
Yes.
So some observations I've made is one in Balinese.
Yes.
So when I started studying Balinese,
Ah.
I was disappointed with too many Indonesian words.
Yeah.
And then also in Nepal, of the 120-something languages
Yeah.
spoken in the mountains, they're using more and more Nepali words instead. Like they'll say, like,
TK.
it should be, if it's Tibetan Burmese, it should be something like chichichi.
Chichi, okay.
When they say like Danyama.
Dhanyabad. Okay.
Now, an exception is common is interesting. They don't say Samaya, they say from English time. They'll say time, hari.
Time.
I have time. They
Yes.
use the word time.
The time. So the word time went into.
Because it means free time,
Right.
but it comes from English.
It might be-
Don't borrow too much.
It might be from the Gurkha days or maybe the word time, but I don't know if it went from there to the military, I guess, time. Yeah, not Samai, okay. Interesting. Wow. Yeah, I don't know about that. So future of language, yeah. Languages, they do have the tendency to be, when you have a dominant language, it tends to, go in. So yeah, so Nepalese will be affecting the languages in all the Himalayas. A lot of influence, you will see it. Indian languages by English, a lot of English creeping into India, Pakistan, and pretty much everywhere. Spoken languages, especially even like in Moroccan French, Moroccan Arabic, there's a lot of French words and all. Yeah. You see this everywhere, yeah, loan words. There's a difference between loan words and words that are like code switching. Like when you speak one language, you switch to another, there's a difference. Because in loan words, the words actually become integrated into the phonology. But code switching is like you need to say, you know, like merci and then use something in Arabic. But with an actual word, you incorporate it into the phonology, like a lot of what we discussed. But the mama papa thing is interesting. Mama. Interesting. Yeah, cool. Yeah, a couple more questions. Yeah, okay, sure.
Maybe it's not a question, but more of an explanation
Yeah.
for some of you that don't have any experience with Arabic.
Yeah, yes.
Because it happens, and I would like to explain a little bit.
Yes,
why it
please do.
happens, because it happens very often.
Yeah.
That you write it correctly, you check it.
Always.
And then you export it, for example,
Yes.
to a PDF file, and it either disjoins all the letters.
Precisely, yeah.
And sometimes it also changes the
Yes.
the direction of
Yeah.
reading.
Yes.
And
What is going on?
That, you know that it happens.
Yeah.
Maybe
So it's not me.
someone knows how to avoid it.
I don't know. I have no idea. So it's not
What
me.
to do
It's
to
not my
avoid
fault.
that kind of
It's
thing.
not my fault. It's not it's not our fault.
It's not your fault because it happens. You can check
Yeah.
it 100 times, you export it,
Yeah.
It's okay, you export it.
Exactly.
You export it, it's right. You never
Which is a
know what's
problem
going on.
because tomorrow I have a talk with a lot of Arabic and ooh, yes, I have to check it out. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Always happen to you. Okay. A few more minutes. Anybody any other questions or 3 more minutes? Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
That I like is in Basque, mutil means boy,
Right.
and comes from Latin mutilatus, that means, no, mutil.
Mutil, sorry. Mutil. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Mutil.
Mutilatus means cut. And this has the same, it's a cut from also Spanish and Portuguese.
Yes, yeah.
Cabash.
Kabash, yes.
Muchacho.
Muchacho.
Molto rapado.
Molto rapado,
In
huh?
Italian, also in some Italian dialects, toso
Yes.
means boy.
Boy, yeah.
From the custom, no, from the
Custom.
latitudine,
Yeah. Tradition, custom.
Of boys to have short
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, so it even went to Basque as boy. Okay, unrelated language, yeah. I know that the word for man in Romanian is barbat or something. Barbat, I can't pronounce it, yeah. And it comes from the word for beard, bearded guy with a beard. As well, yeah, because, yeah, so that's actually not boring, that's actually it evolved from Latin, so.
But in Basque it's clearly
In Basque it's boring, you're right, yeah. Interesting, with the concept of that guy being Shiva, yeah. So it's the idea and the word. Yeah, cool. Couple, yeah, 2 more will do.
There are some languages which governments will try to avoid
Yes.
foreign words. I got the impression that French is like this,
Yeah.
Hungarian is like
Yeah.
this. Do they have a chance?
Yes, I think so because the government is, but spoken French, like colloquial, is starting to take in a lot of English, starting recently. It's starting to, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think somebody said the word for email now they've got the Canadian French, the courriel or something like that, from which they developed in Canada and then go to the French because it doesn't sound like English, so it went. The Académie Française took on the courriel or something like that because it doesn't sound like I think when the government it's very artificial. It's like prescriptive, like prescribing the way people speak. I feel you should leave it, to go. But on the other hand, if you do that, sometimes it becomes too much. So yeah, it's a debate.
Maybe they do it just for a certain time and afterwards
Yeah.
they don't go on another government.
Yeah, maybe.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I think, time's up. Okay, terima kasih, thank you, and merci, and thank you, thanks.